You know, in the spirit of Hygge, the idea is that you go out, you're outside, the crisp, cool air fills your lungs, and then you come back and embrace the warmth of home. So in this recipe for our Quare kids, we're going to make a zesty salmon pasta with wagon wheel pasta. And you know, every single child can participate in the process of making a recipe. So let's talk about this. The first thing we need are some chopped vegetables, because we're basically going to make a sauce out of this. And we want to cut up our salmon, which I've lightly seasoned. Of course, this is Quare Arctic salmon, which is sustainably raised in the Arctic Circle. And I also have some garlic. And notice what I've done. Depending on the age, you can use a butter knife to be able to chop. You could use a regular cutting knife that's just a table knife, or you could even graduate to a paring knife. Let me show you what I mean by this. So I can take the paring knife and I need to cut the salmon into cubes, just into about 1-inch cubes so they don't break apart. But take a look at this. I can do the same with the table knife, and I can even do the same with just a little bit of extra pressure with the butter knife. So you'll see we can all safely participate in the cutting up of some of these wonderful vegetables and the salmon that need to go into this dish. Now this is going to be put into just a sauté of vegetables and tomatoes as our base. And you know, this is such an important dish because it doesn't taste like it's fishy. It's going to have this warm flavor from the tomatoes. It's something the entire family will like. And then I'm also going to chop up some garlic, and I can do that with my little paring knife. We just need it to just be lightly chopped to go into our sauce. You can see I can even have someone mashing this for me if I wanted to have them participate in putting that garlic together. So anyone can participate in this process. Now let's go over to the stove. What I'm going to do, and this is one of those important things where moms and dads have to turn on the stove, make sure that the handle is to the back so that no one can brush up against the pan itself. You could even put a stool here for a child that's maybe over the age of 5 that could have supervision to be able to make this. And then here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to let my pan get hot, and I'm just going to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan after it begins to get hot. And then I'm going to add some chopped onion. I'm going to add some carrots and celery, lots of good vitamins and minerals in this. As a matter of fact, if you just had the sauce, you'd get an entire serving of your vegetables for the day. And then I want to put in our garlic. And we just want that to start to get warm. And then finally, I have a little bit of oregano that's going to season this. So it really is relatively mild. The mild flavor of the salmon paired with just the sweetness of the vegetables. So you just want to begin to warm this through. And then I'm going to add some chopped Italian tomatoes. And this is such a great time to talk about where our ingredients come from. Italian tomatoes have lower acidity than other tomatoes, so they're going to be sweeter, and they're going to cook down and just give this pasta a lovely richness. And then the last part of this, after your vegetables start to get softened, is you want to add your salmon. And the salmon doesn't have to get all the way cooked. Remember that we're baking this in the oven for over an hour. So all I really need to do now is just combine that salmon in with the vegetables. Now you'll want this to cook for about 5 minutes. But what we're going to do is take it back over to the table. Let me show you what comes next. So we've got our salmon mixture and we've got our wagon wheel pasta. And the wagon wheel pasta has been cooked as if it was salty like the sea that surrounds Quare Arctic Island. That's salty seawater. So get the water nice and salty, bring it to a boil, and then cook the wagon wheel pasta just until it's al dente. And what does that mean, al dente? It means firm to the tooth. And then what you'll do is you'll just add this vegetable mixture Everybody can help with that part. We'll give it a little stir. We just want to combine it. And you're going to get all of that rich aroma out of the pasta, out of the tomatoes. And it again is very mild. We haven't added a lot of flavor components to this. It's something everyone can enjoy. For the adults, they could add a little crushed red pepper to it if they wanted to. But the trick at this phase is just getting it completely combined. And then the last part of this is that what you'll do is you'll add it to a pan. Now, this recipe is about 1 pound of pasta and ½ pound of salmon, but you could actually make it in 2 different containers and freeze one if you wanted to. So if it's more than the family's gonna eat in one meal, maybe you wanna think about putting some into the freezer. And then I'm just gonna add this to the pan. Once I get about half of the mixture into the pan, I'm going to cover this with foil so that it can bake until it's just warmed through. Once it's warmed through, we'll remove the foil and we'll put some cheese on it because everybody loves cheese. So here we go. We're going to take this. We're going to wrap it up, put it in the oven. And remember, we want to make sure that we have help if we put it in the oven. Now the oven has been, it's only been cooked maybe to about 350 degrees. And then we're going to take out this bubbly, beautiful pasta, set it out carefully see how that cheese has gotten nice and brown. And then when you're ready to serve it, you've just got some bowls. We'll cut into it, put it into the bowl, and it's ready to serve. A zesty salmon and pinwheel pasta for Quarry Kids.